Hi everyone. So this video is about the explanation of Prim's algorithm. So what is Prim's algorithm? Prim's algorithm is a greedy algorithm used to find the minimum spanning tree. So what is a minimum spanning tree? A minimum spanning tree is the tree that is formed from a graph, okay, which has the minimum edge weight. Okay, so Prim algorithm, there are primarily four steps. So the step one is to start with any vertex. Step two, pick the minimum weight from that vertex. To a nearby vertex, or you can tell to a neighbor vertex. And then step three is add the edge to the MST with the vertex. And then last is repeat until all the vertices are covered. Until all vertices are covered. Okay, so these are the four steps which makes up Prim's algorithm. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a sample graph and we're going to draw the graph and then find the MST of that graph using Prim's algorithm. So for that, let's take the question. So the graph is given as follows. We have 5 points. Okay. Now A to B is 2, A to C, the edge is 3, B to C, the edge is 1, B to D, the edge is 1, C to D, so this I'll put it here, C to D, the edge is 4, C to E, the edge is 5, and D to E, the edge is 7. So this is a given graph with 5 vertices. So our goal is to find the minimum spanning tree of this graph using Prim's algorithm. Okay, so let's begin solving this question. So the step one is to pick a starting vertex. So the starting vertex is A. Okay, the starting vertex is A. So when we pick A as a starting vertex, let's add that vertex into the MST as follows with the cost as 0. Okay, so MST is set A and the cost is 0. Okay, so now let's take the edges from A. So from A, we'll be repeating step 2 until and unless all the edges are covered. Okay, so for step 2, let's take from A. What are the two edges from A? From A, we have two edges, that is AC, which is 3, and AB, which is 2. Okay, so from this, we'll pick the minimum weight. So what is the minimum weight here? 2 is the minimum weight. So we will pick 2, that is AB, and then we will add it into the MST set. So when we add it into the MST set, we'll get MST is equal to A, B, total cost is 2. Okay, so this is your first set of vertices. Then you will repeat this step. So now from B and A. So what you'll do is, because you have one edge, okay, so what I'll do is every step I'll draw how the graph looks like. So after this step, the graph looks like this: A to B, which is 2. Okay, so now from B and A you will check. Okay, so from B and A, when you check, okay, you get from A you have AC, which is 3, and from B you have BC, which is 1. I'll write B in the next line. So A you have this. For B you have BC, which is 1, and then BD, which is also 1. Okay, so we'll pick BC here because we didn't pick AC from the previous one, correct? So that's why we'll pick BC over here. Okay, so we'll pick BC, because remember there's one more condition: we should not form any cycles. Okay, so now the graph looks like this: A to B, 2, B to C, 1. See from the above diagram. So this is your graph as of now. Okay, now let's take from B and C. So our next step will be to take from the next two vertices. So from B and C. So from B and C, if you consider, from B we have B to D, which is 1, and from C we have two possibilities. Oh, yeah, there are two possibilities from C: C to D, which is 4, and C to E, which is 5. See, you can see here, C to D 4 and C to E 5. So which one will you pick here? We'll pick BD, the minimum edge. So what does the graph look like now? A to B to C to D. Right? Okay. So what are the edge distances? 2, 1, and 1. So far, this is your minimum spanning tree. Now, what we'll check? We'll check from C and D, or you check from B and D. Okay, or you check better from C and D, because next vertex is C, right? So C and D. So you'll just keep moving to the next vertex. Okay. So from C and D. Now from C, what is there? From C we have C to E, which is 5. From D we have D to E, which is 7. Now which one will you pick? We'll pick C to E, which is 5. So when we pick that, the final MST will be A, B, C, D, and E. All vertices covered. The total cost. So after every step, you have to write the cost. Okay. So after this step, the cost is 2. After this step, the cost is 3. After this step, cost is 4. And after this step, the cost is 9. Okay. So what will be the final MST? A to B to C to D to E. No cycles. Okay. No cycles and no loops. That's your goal of MST. No cycles and no loops. So this is how you perform Prim's algorithm. Okay. So in the final answer, what you'll write is, you'll write total cost of MST is 9, and it covers all the vertices. And you have to draw the graph. Okay. So this is how you perform Prim's algorithm. Thank you.